trendybeats.com.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Welcome to the free teaser session of business analysis. About us here at Workforce Limited, we are an innovative hub that provides job seekers and employers with bespoke solutions with the aim of increasing market values and enhancing business performances, be it recruitment, branding, advertising, and skill development. We're your one-stop shop. Our trainings and services we're offering would be on project management. I think Mr. Emmanuel mentioned something about project management. So yeah, we have that as well here. Project management, business analysis like this one, data analysis, web development, digital marketing, UI/UX design, LinkedIn optimization, CV revamping, career advisory, interview prep, and a professional portfolio. Workforce Business Analysis Bootcamp is about a comprehensive and dynamic training program designed to equip participants with the essential skills and knowledge required for a successful business analysis role. The objective of the bootcamp is to provide participants like you with practical experience, essential skills, and knowledge required to succeed in the field of business analysis. Through this training, you would develop a deep understanding of key business analysis principles, tools, and techniques that gains practical experience in applying these skills to your day-to-day life. Like, we'll give you practical experiences, not the whole theory thing, practical. You will also build on other soft skills like team management, stakeholders management, collaboration, workshop, facilitation, and so on and so forth. So the perks of this course, of this business analysis bootcamp, would be for 6 weeks, 6 weeks live, 6 weeks live expert-led training. Like, you have, like, your courses will run for 6 weeks. That's what that means. Then end-to-end project delivery. You are going to have projects, like very, very useful projects. You get access to LMS, interview preparation. You acquire skills and techniques on business analysis. You have a globally recognized certificate of completion, an expert CV and LinkedIn optimization, then competency test, UK job reference, and a position for visa sponsorship or opportunity to earn 6 figures in your job, any areas of your job. Who can take this course? Basically, anybody can take this course. Aspiring project managers or business analysis, professionals looking to switch from project management to and business analysis, then stakeholders seeking practical work experience, anyone who wants a position to position themselves for visas.
Sorry. Second. This is a personal plea. You don't have to oblige, please. We appreciate the class with you. No doubt you are a bundle of experience, and
yeah.
If you do
Can you hear me? Okay, I think.
Yes, we can hear you. I think that was someone just talking on the background.
Okay. So sorry for the distraction. I stopped at people who can take our courses, like this business analysis course. And I was talking about anyone who wants to position themselves for visa sponsorship. This is for people that are in the UK. It's easier for you to like get good jobs with visa sponsorship with a degree from a very good company like Workforce, obviously. Then anyone who wants to enhance their career prospects and earning potentials, which is the whole getting 6 figures, like good pay, basically. Professionals and entrepreneurs for small business owners as well. Like anyone can really take this course. You don't have to like be a professional yet. You can work your way up there. The model for this course will cover business analysis, fundamentals, requirement, elicitation and management, process modeling and improvement, data analysis and modeling, agile and scrum methodologies, stakeholders management, strategy analysis and solutions, evaluation of business analysis tools and techniques, then live project deliveries. I can't emphasize on the project aspects of this course. It's going to be project and practicalism and all through your your 6 weeks. So the roadmap to success on this course is very simple and straightforward. Like there's just this road here. This is not like this is a very straightforward road. Just enroll and have your 6 weeks live classes in business management that will be held every Saturday, just weekends, from on the 20th of April to the 18th of May. Then would have testing on your competency to make sure that you're following and will know how to assist you, how to coach you. Nobody's going to be left behind. We're teaching everybody would graduate. So yes, and then we have live projects. You have an opportunity to work with your course instructor, with your classmates, and also other students from project management and data analysis classes as well. I think for a general project, we're working on that. Then after the course, we would not just leave you alone. We're going to give you career support. We would have a 2 free class by a Hayes recruiter on CV and LinkedIn optimization and interview prep. That one is free. That is one of the benefits of being in this class. So you go there, you learn from them. It's very easy. If you're in the UK, you will know Hayes recruiters. They are very, very good professionals. The course will be going for £349.99, but you can pay in installments for £116. You can pay it through the 3 months, which is a 6 weeks live classes. But the £116 would cover, like, will give you access to the course for a starter. These are the benefits of the courses. And if you have any other questions you would like to ask me, I'm here. Please ask. I'm looking at the chat now. I'm here to answer your questions. So am I good to go? Please let's interact in the chat box. You can also unmute yourself and talk to me as well, like I'm here. Do you have any questions regarding what I have been saying for the past like 10, 15 minutes? Mr. Samuel, do you have a question? Shola, sorry, Akinyemi, Olatunde, TJ, everybody's fine with the explanation.
I have a question.
Okay.
Apart from the 6 weeks live classes that you have, is there going to be a platform where you have materials for you to read? Or is it just, are you going to have a mentor during that time? How does it work?
For your 6 weeks class, yes, you are going, after the 6 weeks, you're going to have like a mentor, a guide to help you. And the materials will also be on the website, just in case. And also we'll be uploading like job opportunities on the website too, for you to check for opportunities. We're not going to leave you.
So the material that you would have access to, do you have a website or a platform or a dashboard whereby you have materials apart from the live classes? Or is it only live classes that people will depend on? Is there any other thing? That's what I'm asking.
Once you pay for your course, once you register, you enroll for your course, students get access to their portals, and the materials will be uploaded in the portal. Is that fine?
What is the name of the portal?
Sorry?
The name of the portal, where the one you use.
It's the website at www.workforce.cu.uk. You go on the website for payments. Then when you get there, you see the details there for the courses. You pick the course that you want. It can be project management, data analysis, business analysis. When you pick your course, you fill in your details and you make payments. That's how it's done. But we also provide payments in installments where you get the opportunity to pick the Klarna plan. In that plan, you get to pay like, I think 3 times. Starting payment is £116, and it gives you access to your portal and to the course as well, until you like pay the remaining complete payments.
Okay, the portal, do you hold on the portal? Well, I haven't seen your portal. I'm just asking this question. Your portal, does it only give you access to, let's say I pick project management now. Will I only have access to project management, or you have access to every other like business analyst, agile, scrum? Would you have access to such as well? Or it's
You're
just
going to
project
pay
management?
just the course that you paid for.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for interjecting. Thank you, Michelle, but my time starts like 1 minute ago. So
Okay. Sorry.
let's just get the session started.
Okay.
Once again, good afternoon to everybody. From what I've heard so far, we've got people calling in from the UK. Is there anybody else calling in from somewhere different, somewhere else in the world? So please unmute yourself and speak if you are calling from somewhere else, except from the UK. Okay, that's fine. I believe everybody's from the UK. So today's session will be more interactive. From what I've heard so far, we're a mixed match in the sense that some persons here, they've got that expertise of what business analysis is about. Some are at the beginner stage, some are basically they don't have any idea what business analysis is about. So this will be more interactive. It's not going to be a one-way street. So brief intro about myself. My name is Emmanuel CTJ. I'm a business analyst. So I'll be the one taking you through today's session and subsequent future sessions as well. So thank you for being here, and let's get started. I'll share my screen now. So pardon, I'm not on video at the moment because I'm using an extended screen. Yeah, I'm just talking about that. I'm using an extended screen, and I've got to, if I move my laptop at the moment, my HDMI cable is going to disconnect, and that would affect my presentation. In subsequent sessions, I might put myself on video, but apologies for today. Or towards the end of the presentation, I can put myself on video. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen, Emmanuel.
So welcome to today's session, Introduction to Business Analysis. It's a teaser session, basically just to give you an overview of what business analysis is about and help you to make up your mind on what to do next, which would be becoming a BA, becoming an expert in the field as well. So for me, I enjoy just a brief intro. I enjoy being a business analyst, and I think I've got similar background with Shola. So I've got background on business administration, which is I have an MSc in an MBA business administration. I've got an MSc in international business as well. But there's something quite interesting that I started off from a science background. Um, and that made my life in analysis quite easier because you employ a scientific methodology towards analysis and research, basically. But that has helped me in my business analysis work as well. And I say that to say this, business analysis is not confined to a particular sector. It's applicable everywhere. So you don't have limitations when it comes to business analysis, basically as a career. So I'd like to give everybody an opportunity just to give me an overview of what they have, what their understanding is about business analysis. I'm not going to call names, so please feel free to speak up. Just unmute yourself. Wow, that's good, Samuel. It's about change management. That's correct. Do we have anybody else? All right, that's fine. Samuel, you're correct. Business analysis is all about change management, and change management is big, is huge. But this is something we'll dive deep into the slides for today. So I'll start immediately. And for those of us that maybe our understanding of business analysis is not vast, I believe from today's session would have that knowledge of what business analysis is about, basically. So this is our agenda for today. We'll go through an overview of business analysis. We'll go through the role of a business analyst. We'll understand the key concepts in business analysis, as well as our tools and techniques. And we'll go through a BA process, mainly from your beginning, your problems to solutions. And we'll not do a practical case study, but we'll go through a case study example that will give you an overview of what, as a business analyst, what you do out there and how you can apply business analysis from identifying a problem to coming up with a solution or giving a solution to a viable solution to a business, basically. And I'll go through career pathways in business analysis, and we'll do a bit of a conclusion there. This session is going to be 30 minutes, so I won't take your Saturdays. I'll try to keep it brief as much as possible, but I would want a very interactive session where we have a back and forth communication. I don't want it to be just a one-way street, because that way I can learn off you as well as you can learn off me as well. So basically, what is business analysis? Like Samuel said, it's all about change management, but there are different definitions out there. I try to keep it simple. For example, I could say business analysis is about business and analyzing or analysis. And we know business encompasses organizations, SMEs, encompasses public and private organizations, charity organizations as well. So we know business is a big word for different stuff, different things. It could be you doing something that gives you a return. Basically, that's business. But when it comes to combining both words, business analysis, for me, it's a process of enabling change in an organizational context by defining business needs or stakeholders' needs or end user needs and recommending solutions to deliver value to that stakeholder. So basically, what this means, because one of the key concepts here is needs. So for example, a company wants to do something, they want to implement a new solution, maybe to increase sales in a particular product. That's the business need. So they bring in an analyst to understand what that need is, So what a business analyst does is basically go there, talk to different stakeholders, ensure you're able to capture what those stakeholders need. It could be internal stakeholders, it could be external stakeholders. But what you're trying to do, you're trying to capture those needs so that you can add value to the stakeholders, basically. So for me, this is simply a very simplistic definition of business analysis, which is the practice of enabling change in organizational context by defining needs and recommending solutions that delivers value to the stakeholders. So basically, we'll move on to the next slide. Why is it important? Basically, business analysis help organizations to adapt to changes, um, improve processes, and optimize performance. For example, we might say, how does that improve processes? So with the advent of COVID, we came to understand that a lot of business that are not digitized, they saw the needs that, okay, we need to find a way to reach our customers. We need to find a way to send out our products to our end users. Most of them were doing this stuff manually. But to improve that process, they have to do it digitally because now there's a constraint. And what that means is that you have to change from your manual process to an automated or a digital process. That basically is improving processes as well as optimizing performance. And at this point, I would like to pause here and take any question if everybody's clear. If you've got any question, please, at this point, speak up before we move to the next slide, which is basically talking about the role of you being a business analyst. You can drop your comments on the chat as well. Thank you, Samuel. All right, I'll move on then. So, role of a business analyst. Basically, what does a business analyst do? As I explained earlier on, when a business needs to identify a particular need, you are brought in to liaise or interact or collaborate with the different stakeholders to identify those needs, define those needs, and come up with a solution. So basically what you do as a business analyst is to act as a bridge between stakeholders, which could be business stakeholders, end users, internal and external stakeholders, and your project team. Project team on this context is usually classed as the development team because they are the one that would bring that solution to life. They will be the one implementing that solution, basically. So you as a business analyst, you're a bridge between business stakeholders, internal and external stakeholders, and the project team. So you're able to translate those needs, those requirements from the business, from end users, from the different stakeholders to the project team, basically. So that's you acting as a bridge. You're able to speak both languages. You speak the business language and you speak the technical language as well. That's basically your role as a business analyst. So moving on to what are your responsibilities, basically. These are the core responsibilities of a business analyst, as you can see on the slides here. One is requirement gathering, one is stakeholders analysis, another one is process modeling, data analysis, and solution validation. I'll talk more about this on the next slides, but I want to go to key concepts in business analysis just to give you an understanding of how the flow of a business analysis, how the flow of business analysis is, basically. So our key concept in business analysis, we've got a stakeholder analysis. So when you're carrying out your stakeholder analysis, you're able to identify everybody that's going to be affected by your project. First of all, that's number one. So what does that mean? It means that you've got different stakeholders. You have your business stakeholders, you have your project stakeholders, you have your internal stakeholders, you have your external stakeholders. So you as a business analyst, one key stuff you have to do is stakeholder analysis. You have to understand who are those people that are going to be affected by this particular solution or by this particular project. What are we trying to achieve? In what way does a stakeholder has influence over this project and what are their needs. So for example, you want to build a solution. Let's say you want to do a website design. You have to go out there and source and analyze your stakeholders. It could be one, the business stakeholders. Who are those that are going to be managing that website, for example? It could be who are the users that are going to be using that website, another group of stakeholders. Who are those that we need to rely on that would enable us to host that website properly? It could be a third-party provider. You have to identify those stakeholders. So you need to identify everybody to begin to analyze their impact or their influence on that particular project. So that's why stakeholder analysis is key as a business analyst. One of our key concepts in business analysis. You identify everyone who's going to be affected by that project and you understand their influence. The influence here means who has ability to derail your project or who have the ability to ensure that there's a successful outcome to that project or that solution, and as well as documenting their needs, understanding their needs, basically. The next one is requirement engineering. So basically, requirement engineering is an all-encompassing word. It's simply the process of gathering information or gathering data to define what that business needs. So the business comes to you as a business analyst who want to build a website. What you do is to understand what the business needs to implement that particular solution to build that website. So you go out there, you talk to the stakeholders. Your process of eliciting that requirement of talking to those stakeholders, that's you gathering that information, gathering those data to define what the business needs. So on this particular process or this particular concept, this is where you have to document those requirements as business requirements, as stakeholders requirements, as technical requirements. You begin to define all these needs after gathering all these needs. So basically, that's requirement engineering. And this process is an all-encompassing process. It's something you do within the life cycle of a project, from the initiation to the planning to the implement stage, and as well as to the deploy stage as well. It's requirement engineering is an ongoing process when it comes to business analysis because requirement changes at different phases of a project. So your ability to understand that you're always going out there to gather requirements, you're always talking to stakeholders to understand their needs, you're always trying to see if those needs are met, if you documented those needs properly. That's basically requirement engineering. So not to spend too many time here on this one, we'll move on to the next slide. Then this brings you to process modeling. What does this entail? Is your ability to visually represent the current process and also the futuristic process. So a business tells you what they want to achieve. They want to build a website, for example. What you have to do is understand that there's a process to that. There's a process that's currently ongoing that the business does. What you do as a business analyst is for you to map out, okay, what is the current process? What do we do currently? What are those steps do we do currently? When a customer wants to make a purchase for a product or a service, how do they reach out to us? What do they do? How do they initiate those steps? So you document those steps. That's process modeling. It's, for example, you want to cook a rice. Cooking a rice is a process. How do you move on? So cooking a rice, for example, is something that's all encompassing. You wake up in the morning and say, oh, I want to cook a rice. There's a process to cooking a rice. So your ability to take that process and create a visual representation of the current process, of the future process, identifying the gap in between, that's basically the analysis of, okay, this is where we are right now. This is where we want to be, but there's a gap at this point. So your process modeling is when you meet. Hello, Esther, please can you mute yourself? Thank you. So basically, process modeling means taking those current processes which are not documented and creating a logical representation of them that is visually it's visually represented. Stakeholders can see this is what we do on this current stage. This is what we do currently, and this is where we want to be. This is what we want to be doing, and there's a gap in between. That's where your analysis comes into play. Process modeling is key. If for those that are quite experienced, you've heard about the as-is process and the to-be process, or the current process and the future process and the gap in between. This is where process modeling is important. It's very, very necessary. As a business analyst, this is one thing you would be doing out there. It's something that you need to be able to master, because you want to be able to capture what a stakeholder or a business does currently, to be able to tell them that this is where you are currently. This is your map of what you do currently. These are where you start your process, and this is where your process ends. These are the places you can automate those processes to ensure there's efficiency, it's effective. Then you say, okay, this is the gap, and this is the future stage where you want to be, where you want to remove manual repetition of tasks, where you want to ensure that this process is more efficient and more streamlined. So basically, that's what process modeling does for you. I'll move on to the next slide, which we'll be talking more about their methodologies in business analysis. So having that understanding of what methods, what methodology or what framework you as a business analyst you use out there is also very, very important. So we've got the two core approach, which is one waterfall. It's something that's implemented especially for hardware projects, but they do waterfall also for software projects as well. When I mean software, I meant those projects that are akin to IT development, software development lifecycle. While waterfall, it's used mainly when it comes to add-on processes like building, construction. They use waterfall a lot. So waterfall is one of our models, one of our methodology we use in business analysis. For you to understand what waterfall entails is very, very important, because one, waterfall is a sequential and a linear process. So before you start any project, when it comes to waterfall, you gather all your requirements, you gather everything from the initiation and the planning phase, you gather all the requirements, then you go into your build basically. So you gather it's like you want to build a house, okay, these are all the things I need to build a house. You need your cement, you need your windows and everything, and you've drawn the plan, you gather everything, and the next thing you start your build. That's waterfall approach. It's sequential, it's linear. It's good for projects that are more internal process driven. So for example, you want to change the way a department talks to another department, then you could use a waterfall approach, because it's not influenced by external factors a lot, like customer demands, customer needs. So waterfall is good for internal projects, internal improvement process improvements projects when it comes to internal processes for organizations. But agile methodology is one methodology out there which most organizations try to adopt. We've got Agile Scrum, we've got Kanban, some do Scaled Agile as well, some do Lean as well. These are methodology that eliminates the need for waste, because one thing that's associated with waterfall is waste. So you can start a build, but along the line something changes, customer design or customer needs changes. You can't go back and change that process. You have to stop and start again. So that's one constraint with waterfall. But with agile, you're able to scale. So if there's a change, you are flexible, you're able to adapt. So agile methodology is being flexible and adaptive to different condition, and it's iterative. That means you're shipping out product on an incremental timeline as well. You're rolling out product that are being driven by customer demands. So basically that's agile. So being a business analyst out there, this is something you need to know, because it's important that anywhere you work for, you understand what methodology they have in place and what they work, and you know the different phases and how you can fit into that organization to do your work proper. So I'll move on to our tools and techniques. This is something you need to know as a business analyst. The list I have here is not everything, it's not exhaustive, but just to give you an idea, that, okay, these are some of the tools and techniques I would need as a business analyst to implement what I have to do out there in the field. So, for example, you've got your SWOT analysis. We all know what SWOT analysis is about, but I'll just talk briefly on it. Assessing your strengths and your weakness, your opportunities and your threats. We've got PESTA analysis as well, where you analyze for your political factors, your economical factor, your social factors, your technological factor, your legal factors, and your environmental factor. Why PESTA is very, very good as a business analysis, because when you're trying to identify your stakeholders, it's good to group your stakeholders according to the different PESTA framework, because then you could, if you're rolling out a solution that you might have political stakeholders involved, you have to be able to capture them as well, your economical factors as well. You need to be able to understand, okay, what are the technology constraints we would need, what are those personnel we need to be able to implement this solution. That way, PESTA helps you to even capture your stakeholder analysis much more better as well. But it doesn't mean you capture your analysis using the framework of PESTA solely. It's something that you could pull out stuff from. So if you're working on a project that you've got political actors or political stakeholders, you can be able to layers and map those stakeholders as well. Then another thing, which was something I touched on earlier, which is a business process or process modeling. Yeah, it's called business process modeling notation. The tool we use, we've got different ones, but one of the core ones out there is Microsoft Visio. We've got Draw.io, we've got Smart Draw. These are different tools that helps you do your process modeling to map your current state and your future state. And also, I think there's another useful tool we can do with mind maps like Miro, Mura. Those are different tools out there you can use to do your process modeling as well. And also, you've got your data analysis tools. As a business analyst, this is not a must, but it's good to have this skill set, because you might be giving data or you might capture your data in Excel format. You need to be able to visualize that data, have insight into what that data tells you, so you can recommend solutions. The other tools out there, which I listed there, which is SQL, your Power BI, and your Tableau, they are more like data visualization tools. It helps you visualize data, so you can look out for trends and patterns in those data to make an informed decision. So it's good to have those skill set as well. Both of them, I'll move on to the next slide. So I'll take you from the beginning of the BA process, from problem to solution, just give you an overview of what you as a business analyst, you do out there. So one of them is elicitation, which is basically gathering requirements from the different stakeholders. So as a business analyst, you've identified your various stakeholders. You know, okay, you're talking to your business stakeholders, you're talking to customers, you're talking to your developers to get your technical requirements. So you start gathering those requirements from those stakeholders. That's requirement elicitation. Then after that stage, you move on to your analysis. This is where you understand and you document those business needs. So you've spoken to the business, you understand their needs, what they want to achieve, their business goals, their objectives, their KPIs, their OKRs. OKR is objective key results. They've given you all these, their needs. Basically, this is what we want. This is what we want to achieve. Your ability to understand and document that business needs or that stakeholder needs or that end user need, that's analysis. Then you move on to your design stage. That's where you propose solution and you evaluate their feasibility. This is usually where you do part of your process mapping. So you document your current state, you identify the gap, then you propose a feature to be. But with these ones, you always run it through with your different stakeholders. That's where validation comes into play, to ensure that that solution meets that business requirement. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to build a solution that does not meet the business requirement. The business tells you want to build a car, you end up going to build a tricycle, like in Nigeria, they say keke napep. They want a car that has a seating capacity for, let's say, 10 persons, but you want to build a solution that can only accommodate 3 persons. So you always have to validate. It's one key thing you need to be doing out there as a business analyst. You need to be validating your solutions with your different stakeholders as well. Then it comes to the implementation bit. This is where that solution that has been validated is gone to development. You're working closely with the development team to deploy that solution. At this particular stage, this is where you do your testing. You can do a UAT test, which is user acceptance testing. You carry out your UAT test with the developers, with the QA lead, to understand that, okay, this solution actually does what it's going to do before it goes live. And even when it's gone live, so using that website, for example, they've built the website. You've tested that every little click, every little icon is working on that particular website. Then now it's gone live. Another thing you need to do is evaluate that solution. Does it meet the outcomes? Because initially the business is giving you their KPIs, their objectives, their goals, what they want to meet and achieve. It's up to you to start evaluating, okay, we've rolled out this solution. What are we doing? This is key because as a business analyst, you might be asked out there. So tell me, for example, when you deploy the solution, what was the outcome? So your ability to say, okay, for example, we deployed the website 3 months post-implementation. We observed that we had a 20% increase in customer satisfaction. We had a 5% decrease in our drop rate or our churn rate or our crunch rate. The ability to evaluate those goals, those objectives, those KPIs, that's another key thing as a business analyst that you need to do as well. So moving on, because of time, I'll move on to the next slide. We'll go through a simple case study just to give you an idea, picturesque idea of what you as a business analyst, a situation you might be faced with. This is not this is not just teaching you what you need to picture as a BA on the field, but it gives you an idea of an end-to-end process of what the outcome is on a particular solution at the end. So I just run through the background quickly, and I'll go through the challenge, the action, and we'll go through the next slide as well, where we'll talk about the solutions, talk about the results and the conclusion, going through that process that we saw on our previous slides. So basically, the background is Tech Gadget Incorporation, a leading electronic retailer. They've noticed a decline in their customer satisfaction in relation to their online shopping experience. There's different complaints about the website navigation difficulties and how to check out. It's quite problematic. It's quite difficult. You want to check out, there's issues with the checkout button. You put stuff on your cart, you can't be able to see it at the next page when you want to check out. So those are the difficulties stakeholders are experiencing. So the challenge now, the company needs to enhance that online shopping experience to improve the customer satisfaction and reduce those cart abandonment rates, where you have people putting stuffs on their bucket or their basket and they want to shop, but to pay it's quite difficult. They can't do it. At the end of the day, they just ignore and just move away from the website. So the company decides to contract you as a business analyst. You're brought into the organization. So this is a challenge. We need to enhance our online shopping experience to improve our customer satisfaction and reduce our abandonment rates. You as a business analyst, you are brought in. You're tasked to identify the root cause of that customer dissatisfaction and propose solution. What you do as a business analyst, first of all, you conduct your stakeholder interview. Our first process, elicit requirement, that you do in that stage. Conducting those stakeholders interview, you're eliciting your requirement, you're gathering that requirement, basically. So from there, you move on to the next stage, where you go into your analysis. That's where you now analyze those data. So perhaps you download the information from the website on the back end about how many people visit the website on a particular day or a particular hour. So you download, you look into those data, you begin to find pattern and trends on those data. Then you use your process modeling, which is part of your requirement engineering right now, to now understand, okay, these are the journey of our customer. This is our customer journey. When they log into the website and they pick an item and they click on a particular button to move to cart, When they think they get a notification that's done, it doesn't go through, you begin to analyze using that process map to understand, okay, this is the journey right now that the customer goes through. These are their pain points. These are their touch points. These are their drop points. So you begin to understand from your analysis of that process modeling that you've drawn on the current process that this is what's happening right now, but this is where you want to be as a business. This is where you want to do. You want to be able to automate these processes. You want to be able to do this, make sure that this particular manual task is stopped for an automated task. It's done automatic. It's an automated task done by the system and not by a particular user. For example, maybe payment, collecting payment. You want to be able to automate that payment experience for the customer. So you as a business owner, you've gone through those phases. You've carried, which is your action now. You've mapped your Aziz and you've done your to be as well. When we move on to the next thing, then you recommend your solution. So your solution could be redesigning the website with a focus to simplify navigation and streamline the checkout process. That's the solution you're proposing. So you propose that they implement perhaps a one-page checkout, because from those data and from the process map you've drawn, you see that, oh, the checkout process is quite difficult. It's too difficult for for customers. Your competitors out there, they have a one-page checkout, whereby as they click on a product, it goes straight to the cart. They don't have to open a tab to click on that particular product to have themselves move it to that tax. So when you propose a one-page checkout, an introduction of maybe different other features, like, okay, in terms of products, you need to be able to click a checkout option on the product itself. So when you do those recommendations, that's you proffering a solution to the business. And let's say the business implements your solution, which is your result, basically. You now begin to track it post-implementation, because the solution has been implemented, it has gone live. You track it later on to say, okay, this solution that we've implemented, how do we match it with our business goals? The business wants to be able to reduce cart abandonment rate. They want to see an improvement in customer satisfaction scores. This is where you now come into play to say, okay, let's do post-implementation evaluation. The solution we've rolled out, does it meet the objectives, the set KPIs? This is where you now start gathering data. It could be 3 months post-implementation. It could be 1 day after post-implementation. Depends on what the business wants and what that business goal actually is at that for the company in particular. So you start doing those analysis of post-implementation data. You go to the website, you extract data. You say, okay, before we were hitting, let's say, cart abandonment rate for 90%. Is we implemented this solution 3 months post-implementation. Now we see a reduction of cart abandonment to, like, let's say, a reduction in like 50%. Then you now start benchmarking it. The business actually wants a reduction of, let's say, 20%, and now you're hitting 15%, 50%. That's good. That solution is actually adding value to the organization, basically. So you can see with this process, the end-to-end process, with this case study, you can capture what the business analyst does when they are being brought in to act as a bridge between the business and different stakeholders, basically. Because of time, I will just speed through to the next slide, or we'll talk about career pathways as a business analysis. A career pathway in business analysis. So basically, as a business analyst, you have different career pathways. Like I said earlier when I was doing my introduction, you're not, you have the ability to transit within different industries, different organizations. Basically, you're not limited to a particular sector. As a business analyst, you can work everywhere and anywhere because your skill set is quite unique. You're being brought in to identify those customer needs, document those needs, recommend solutions, implement those needs with the development team, and do post implementation evaluation as well. So your skill set is quite unique. That's why business analysis is one of those core IT profession out there that's in high demand. So to avoid boring you with different statistics, let me just go straight into your career pathway as a business analyst. Basically, we've established that involves identifying business needs, assessing your change, documenting, and delivering value to the different stakeholders. So you have diverse career opportunity across different industries. So in terms of entry-level position, you can start as a junior business analyst. You can move to a data analyst. You can become a system analyst. So most organizations out there, they use a unifying words to call a data analyst as a business analyst, a system analyst as a business analyst. But while they are slight difference, they do the same thing basically. Because a system analyst, you analyze and you design technical solutions. A data analyst, you analyze data to support business decisions. Basically, junior business analyst, you understand business processes and you gather requirement, do requirement gathering. That's for entry-level position. And mid-level, for entry-level position, I believe in the UK, you could be earning about 45,000 pounds, within the range of 45 to 50,000 pounds for a business analyst position. While for entry level, I presume junior business analyst, you should be earning just below 45,000 pounds. So let's say 40 to 45, within that range. But mid-level position, that's where you, as a business analyst, now you manage complex projects and you're into stakeholder management big time. This at mid-level position, you should be earning anything between the range of, let's say, 50 to 75, mid-level positions. We have IT business analysts. These are those that are specialists in IT process improvement. These ones, they do mapping of data objects as well. These guys are big into process mapping, they're big into data mapping as well. So basically, that's what IT business analysts they do. Then another mid-level position is product owner and product manager. This is unique to the agile environment, which is the agile framework, where you've got your product owner, your scrum master, you've got your development team. That's why it's good as a business analyst to understand the different framework you're working with in a particular organization. So senior level positions, this is where you lead complex projects. In my previous role, I was the senior business analyst, and not just leading projects, you're expected to mentor as well. This is where mentoring comes into play. Your ability to guide junior business analysts, your ability to ensure that other business analysts, they look up to you to get those mentoring advice. You create framework for organization as a business analyst. You do create BA methodology and roadmap as a senior level position. This is quite senior. Then you move into consultant business analyst, where you offer expertise on project basis. These are where you do, for example, contracting. And if you go out there, you can see jobs being advertised for a business analyst for £850, £750, £600, £500, £550 per day. That's consultant business analyst as well. Then you go into business analysis manager and lead. Uniquely, I've seen this within the government sector. If you go to the .gov.uk, you can see that they've got business analysis manager and business analysis lead. This is where you oversee a team of, in fact, it's more than one. You can oversee different teams of BAs in different projects, and you align everything together into a unique strategy to ensure, maybe, for example, you have a project, you're working on £1 billion, let's say £1.4 billion project that's got different BA teams within that particular program. You as the lead, your ability to have the different teams of BA, ensure that all the strategies are aligned. That's what you do as a business analysis manager and business analysis lead. It's quite huge because they've got different people reporting to you. You might run a DDAT team, for example, which is digital data and technology team, as a business analysis manager, basically. There are also other specialized roles when it comes to business analysis. You've got your agile business analyst. that you're working within a particular framework, which is the Agile framework. You have business architect, whereby you design structures and you align strategies for whatever solution that the business wants to implement. You have data scientists. These are the ones that do use different data model like um, prescriptive, forgotten the other two. One is reactive, prescriptive, and forgotten the other one. But this is where those data scientists, they solve complex challenges using advanced analytics, like for example, robotics or big data or IoT. These guys, they go in, they do their thing with the advanced analytics and come up with insights to those challenges, basically. Also, as a business analyst, if you want to go on a particular, you want to follow that pathway, it could lead you to an executive role as well, where you become a director of business analysis. You can become one of the C-suite executive as well, maybe a chief information officer, a CTO as well. That way you oversee all the IT solutions and strategies, basically. You might ask, with all these nuggets and all these goodies for business analysis and business analysts, what skills and qualification do I need? One, you've got to have good analytical and communication skills. You need to be able to have those technical skills that are specific to a particular role. For example, business analysts working within the finance industry, for example, they need a different skill set compared to a generic business analyst, because over the years you develop those skill set as well. You're working within the Agile framework, those are different skill set, technical skill set that you need to have. You need to be able to do process mapping. You need to be able to have good stakeholder management skills. So you need to have the soft skills as well as the technical skills. And in terms of background qualification, I don't think you need anything academically to channel into the direction of business analysis. You can study art, you can study poetry, you can study anything in life and become a BA. You can be a doctor and become a BA, a business analyst, because all you need is good communication skills, because you're talking to different stakeholders. You have to be analytical as well. Then you can pick up those technical skills by training like this, which are being offered out there and here. You can learn those technical skills, and you've got to have good problem solving skills as well. The ability to think on your feet, to offer solutions. You have data, you're getting insight from those data to profile solutions. Those are good problem solving skills. You need to have those as well. So when it comes to educational background, you don't need to say, okay, I'm into management and I'm into business management or any business degree for me to be a business analyst. That's not quite correct. That's um, a debunk myth. What you need as a business analyst, if you're in the field, is just to have maybe a certification. Because most job out there, they might say, okay, do you have a BCS certification? Do you have a CPAP certification? That way they want to know that, okay, we know you can do the practical aspect. We need to know you've got that knowledge base about business analysis as well. Not everybody demands these certifications, but is a good to have, not a must to have, but a good to have. You could have it, or you could have it or not have it, so it's fine. Industrial application of business analysis, as I've said earlier on, it cuts across different industry, basically. So you're not limited to a particular industry. You can work across different sectors, government, public, private. You can work in charities. You can work in banks, in insurance. You can work in NHS. You can work in medical centers. You can work in IT firms like Google, Amazon, just name it. Any organization in the world, you can work in any industry as a business analyst, basically. And you have the potential to even move from one industry to another industry for even a high level role as well. You could, for example, you can be working for, let's say, NHS as a business analyst, and you want to transition. There's an opening in a finance company or an insurance company. You can switch. If that role pays you, let's say 500, 650 a day, and this other job pays you, let's say 400 or 450 per day, or 55 or 65,000 per annum, you can move. There's nothing holding you back that, oh, you must have this particular ACCA qualification to cross across to finance. No, those are not needed. Those are not, you're not restricted by those blockers, basically. So you can transition from one sector to another without having those unique certification to those sectors, because your job encompasses a lot, and it does a lot of analysis and offering those solutions that would add value to the different stakeholders. So we've gone through what business analysis is about, what you would experience as a business analyst out there. We've done a case study, and in conclusion, we've explored basically the vital role of business analysis in driving organizational change and delivering value. We've also discussed the key responsibility of a business analyst, discussed the essential concepts, the methodologies, and we've touched on some tools that would enable successful outcomes as well. We've gone through a case study, and we've gone through career pathway in business analyst and business analysis, basically. I hope this information would help you make an informed decision, because now you, at whatever level you are, be it intermediate or beginner level or an expert level, you have that understanding what business analysis is about right now. You have that end-to-end understanding of, okay, this is what I'm expected to do on the field, or this is the process of business analysis. This is where I start and this is where I end. You have that overview, basically. So I hope going forward, you would enjoy your career pathway in business analysis if you choose to continue on this journey. And I look forward to meeting you guys in the next class, where we'll touch in depth on each of those particular stuff that we've dealt on today. So thank you. And I look forward to taking some questions from you all. Thank you, Samuel. They said if you end the presentation and nobody says anything, it's either you've blown them off their seats and they're speechless, or you've brought them to the point of death. So, but thank you all for giving me your time today. We have a feedback form, and I hope you can take time to fill out that feedback form. We'll appreciate your feedback a lot. That would help us improve our services and design the course to the way that's fitting to you. And if there's any question you've got, you can always reach out to myself or to Mitchell, and we'll try as much as possible to sort you out to the best of our abilities. So if there's no more question, thank you all for attending, and do enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for the session. Please, if you have any question, I'm here to answer any question regarding registration or the course in general. Is Afiz here? Hello, Afiz. Okay, I think he's not here. Please, do you have any question? Mr. Emmanuel, Shola, Akinyemi, Olatunde, TJ, please, you have any questions? Please, while you are still here, kindly check the chat box and fill out the feedback forms above, and tell us what you think about Emmanuel's teaser session, how we can make improvement before the main class will start on the 20th of April. And remember, the course will be going for £349, and we also offer payment in installment, which will be £116 that would give you access to the course. The first payment to give you access to the course. Please, if you have any questions, I am here to answer. So, Mr. Samuel, are you here? Can you hear me? Hello?
Mitchell, I think there's something in the chat from Mr. Samuel.
Oh, okay. I'm fine. Mr. Samuel, please, what do you mean by cohorts? Can you please speak? Like, you can use your...
He's asking when is the next intake for the program.
Okay. Currently, enrollment is ongoing, so you can make payments now, and the classes will officially start on the 20th of April this month, and it will run through till on the 18th of May, which is during weekends, every Saturdays from the 20th of this month till the 18th of next month. Does that answer your question? Any other questions, please?
Yes,
Esther?
can we know what time it runs on Saturdays? Because you haven't disclosed that to us. What time? Is it same time at 3 o'clock, or when is it?
3 to 6 p.m. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on
So it runs
Saturday.
for 3 hours
Yes, please.
for
Thank
the
you.
next 6 weeks.
Yes.
Then thereafter, after the 6 weeks, what happens after that?
After the 6 weeks, you get 2 free classes with a recruiter from the UK with Hayes Recruiter in the UK. And the classes will be on CV, revamping, LinkedIn
Would that be
optimization.
okay?
And
Will that be immediately after the classes, or do we have to engage in a project after that?
You would be engaging in projects during the classes as well. And then after the classes, you also have like a general project with the students from project management and data analysis as well. You have the opportunity to have like a general project. Then
So
after that,
sorry to
class
cut you short. Yeah. How long will the program run for? I just want to have an idea of how long. Is it beyond 6 weeks, or is just within 6 weeks?
Okay, it will be 6 weeks, just 6 weeks.
Just 6 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
5 weeks for classes, then 1 extra week for projects. The Hayes Recruiter will come in as well, and that's just the way it works. So 5 weeks for classes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other questions? Please, I'm here to answer your questions. Okay. I Akinyemi and Olatunde. I'm guessing that everything is very clear on your end, and TJ as well. So in the absence of no other question, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being here. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you in class on the 20th of this month. And do have a lovely day, a lovely evening. Bye.